All right, so we got our next match coming up here. It shall be uh, a gold match, Wodar and Yeesh.
Yeesh.
Yeah. So what I really like, we don't normally cast from the same division multiple times in one night, but in this time we couldn't resist. First because a live match, very cool, and also
Live
because
match.
also because these are the top 4 players in gold so far, and we are going to know so much more about gold division at the end of this night. We are going to sift through the chaos a lot. Yeesh and Wodar right now are battling for the top, both undefeated, and Lazy Bear and Opie Wrights are trying to keep pace with whoever loses this match for second place, because that's where the real fight might be, given Yeesh's early lead. If Wodar beats Yeesh, all bets are off, and it's just chaos. If Yeesh beats Wodar, then it's Wodar and the winner probably of Lazy Bear Opie down the stretch for that finals appearance.
Oh my god, do not give Wodar dominion over chaos.
It's a good point. If Wodar wins, it would be perfect for him. It'd be on brand because it would create more chaos. Yeah.
All right, I shall go over picks and bans now. Let's see, we got okay, so the first ban is to Yeesh, and he elected to ban Tien. Sad. And then Wodar, as more or less expected, did not ban any maps.
That's he's infamous for refusing to ban.
Yep.
As a sort of silent protest to the banning system.
Yep. All right. Ooh, we're gonna get some more. I hope you guys aren't tired of Gallery, because we got 4 games of it coming up.
All right.
Well, it doesn't matter if I am or not, because I gotta do it. I'm contractually obligated.
And any bets on what Wodar picked? Wodar chose the devil. Any maps that have conspicuously not been banned yet?
Yeah.
Balcony.
It's the smaller venue. Yeah. Yeah.
It is the balcony.
Speaking of contractually obligated, can I next time my contract comes up, can I renegotiate to not cast balcony? Can I do that?
I mean, that would be tough.
Okay.
That'd be tough.
Yeah, fair enough.
You have contracts?
Yeah.
Don't worry about it.
All right. Anyway, the next pick out of Yeesh shall be Ballroom.
More Ballroom. This is feeling very familiar, and I'm already looking at the last pick, and I know that it's going to feel more familiar still. Why don't you tell us what that is?
And Wodar has lost the Courtyard Chicken and picked Courtyard.
So last time Courtyard gets picked immediately. This time almost makes it, but no. It's going to be 3 of the same 4 venues.
Yep. Yeah, this is almost the same as last time.
Yep.
Except Balcony is replacing Tien.
And it's 2 undefeated people at the top of gold, so the stakes are pretty high.
All right, let's transition, and then give them a heads up.
All right.
Either of you two can do that.
Got it.
Awesome.
They will be starting in just a minute. This is very exciting. You don't want to put too much stock in people's preseason predictions because they're wrong all the time. For sure, we've seen that all over.
Just in. Predictions are hard.
Predictions are hard, particularly about the future, as they say. But Yeesh was one of the favorites in gold, and I think it's fair to say a lot of people thought Wodar was going to finish like somewhere in the middle of the pack, like a 3rd, 4th kind of thing, probably, depending on little marginal differences. But Wodar's come storming out of the gate, and he hasn't lost yet, but he hasn't played Yeesh yet either.
Absolutely, and Yeesh is in fact opening the game on the spy side of Courtyard as Wheels. Wodar on the sniper, not Courtyard, freaking Gallery. That's not the right venue.
Between this being Yeesh and this being Wheels and this being Gallery, would not be surprised if we saw some animation microfilm out here. And in particular, Yeesh does like to take the book out front and microfilm out there, assuming the sniper's going to be zoomed in. But as you're seeing probably from Wodar a little bit here, if you're looking at that view, he's actually not staying zoomed in for very long. He is zooming back out every few seconds. You don't see that very often.
Yeesh steps into blue bookcase here. Lots of cover with the movement, but he just pulls the book out, piles in at this bright red painting, and picks up a 48% of the flirt while he's there.
Thinking deep thoughts about a solid block of color, I'm sure.
Well, I never claimed to understand modern art.
And here it is. Is this going to be the animation microfilm? If it is, it's a misjudgment of the way Wodar likes to snipe on Gallery. We'll see.
Good spot for it, though. See what happens. Here it is! It's a green test right out in the open, but sudden enough, it's a good thing he hit that action test because white would have been death there.
Wodar's eyes were clearly just elsewhere, and I don't understand the point of zooming out like that, really, if it's not going to be specifically to keep an eye out front.
Either way, second flirt comes off, 95%. These have been some good action tests here. Hasn't been in position to get full marks on the flirt either time, really through no fault of his own, but hit the green test both times nonetheless.
Yeah, and that took a lot of time. You need to make a lot of progress. That fingerprint helps a lot.
Yeah, but we're just back in the blue bookcase and put this away innocently. Where are these missions going to come from? We don't have a single completion yet.
Well, he removed it, so obviously he needs to put it back and then go to green, but he just doesn't have time here, and he didn't time add while he was out front either.
Minute and 10 left to play. Blue film in pocket, 95% on the flirt, 1 fingerprint.
That amount of time... Yeah, the amount of time spent on that microfilm is fine if it's like 3 missions, or if microfilm is really the only thing you're worried about. But you have to find time for everything else. And how often do I say it? It doesn't matter. Even the best spies in the world struggle with the timing on gallery.
45 seconds, green test. Microfilm at the green bookcase, completely invisible behind the cover of the conversation. But as the book goes away, 35 seconds. The beep beeps have arrived, and we have but a single completion.
I mean, you can obviously finish the seduce and the BB boom boom here, and then you can rush for a fingerprint. Oh no!
No! The double agent steps away! Everything's falling apart, even more so than it already was. 15 seconds, there's nothing to play for anymore.
Yeah, and look at that. He turns around, he realizes, wait a second, what am I going to do in there? Have to time add. You had a small chance of still only a small one there if the DA stays.
It's a white test! 2 possible perpetrators.
Yep. If
Yeesh
Wodar's on
and
it.
Hare.
Yep. Wodar's got it narrowed down. And here's the problem, too. Yeesh has...
Oh, no!
Uh-oh.
Yeesh has been low-lit! How could this happen?
But
he
that
got
knocks out the
away
other
from
suspect.
the outside fast enough.
You gotta reconsider
what?
these lowlights now. There's gotta be a fingerprint on there. There's no way you
The other suspect also got low-lit.
Yep, you gotta reconsider those lowlights now, Wodar, obviously.
What is happening? The last fingerprint comes about. Oh no, Wodar had this game in the palm of his hand and he just dropped it on the floor. And Yeesh, with the desperation time at the end of the game, somehow manages to confuse Wodar enough to make it happen.
That was overthinking, in my opinion, by Yeesh to do that microfilm transfer. It seems like a cool move, but what cost, right? It works if that's the only thing you're worried about and everything else goes smoothly. Everything else did not go smoothly, and it usually doesn't on gallery. And he had every opportunity to lose that game. And Wodar misses not just the microfilm out front, even while not zoomed in, but also doesn't manage to nail him for the time ad. I think if you're going to mix up your sniper game like that with the zooms, you have to occasionally catch those things out front too.
Man, everything was coming up Wodar in that game until he fumbled the time ad. But obviously Wodar is playing Smallman on his spy turn.
Yeah. That really hurts for Wodar. He loses a sniper game right off the bat, and he just had, honestly, just every opportunity to win it. He had control of that game for the most part.
Yeah. Absolutely. Wodar in the back of the conversation as Smallman gets highlit for that reason and that reason alone.
Now there is, I think, a funny little psychological thing going on where because it feels so cheesy to shoot Smallman or care too much about Smallman, and because it doesn't seem conducive to high-level sniper play, really good snipers who don't like to play typically, they kind of refuse to be suspicious of him as much as maybe they should be sometimes. So there's these little openings sometimes where you can be Smallman, do a bunch of cheesy stuff, and they don't want to shoot you because they feel like they're shooting for cheesy reasons. And Yeesh is definitely a skilled enough sniper. He likes to play creatively and differently in a lot of ways, but that itself can be exploited sometimes.
I mean, but it's Wodar though.
It is Wodar. It is Wodar. So you got to balance how you like to play with how your opponent likes to play.
Bug attempt off the back of the conversation doesn't quite take. 2 minutes and 15 left to play. We've got the 2 flirts for 64%. But we are not yet in position to get a whole lot else done. Suspected double agent in our conversation, so we're not going to make that happen anytime soon.
I must say, Yeesh is being incredibly dedicated to watching this moment here.
Yeah, yeah.
And Wodar is being incredibly dedicated to not moving as well. This is Smallman's home. He is finally venturing out of the house to go see if he can pick up this contact.
Smallman the agoraphobic.
It's Smallman's pilgrimage.
Pilgrimage, yes, all the way out to the front of gallery. Takes quite a while.
Gotta get his exercise for the day.
Smallman's progress, yeah.
Banana bread.
There's the contact coming off.
Pretty good lowlights, yeah, and Yeesh gets most of them, if
Yeah.
not all of them. Really effective response on the banana bread from Yeesh, and this is way narrowed down given how much Wodar's accomplished.
So many lowlights.
Wodar's not going to mission win this game in my opinion. He might get a Civ shot, that's possible, but I think that's the only way he wins this now.
Yeah, I agree.
Wodar there and back again, all the way back to his Hobbit home.
Now, taking a brief pit stop at the statues to pick up a pair of inspects, but I honestly don't see how Wodar pulls this off.
I don't either. Yeah, Yeesh is all over it, and he's just got the party so narrowed down. And as freaky as Gallery can be with all that movement and occlusion, it becomes tremendously clear when you've only got 3 or 4 people to look at.
Hits the green test to finish up the flirt, but that's 2 mission completions. It will have to be an inspect swap off the end of the game, but
Good luck.
especially because the statue we want to be at is taken. Oh no! He's okay. For a second there, I thought he wasn't going to take the shot, but
No,
he
that's
decided to pull the trigger.
That is actually high-level sniping. That is basically, I'm almost sure it's this person, but I'm positive they have at least 10 seconds, and they're stuck at statues, so they can't run away easily, and they're not using a very fast character. There's no reason for me not to zoom out, look around the party, make sure I don't miss anything. So that is actually, even though it seems like a tiny little thing, a lot of snipers, they're just jumpy, they take that shot immediately, and there's just no reason to. Yeesh holds for a moment, checks the surroundings, wins anyway.
That puts Yeesh up 2-0 in the opening moments of this match. As he steps back into the spy side of things. Try to pull another one off. Wodar wants that sniper game back and is determined to have it here.
And I expect to see a much more straightforward game from Yeesh here. I don't think we're going to see that kind of microfilm trickery again. It's the kind of thing you do once, and it technically, in a way, quote-unquote, didn't work, you know, because it almost lost him the game all that time. I think we're going to see a more straightforward game here where he just tries to get something like Inspect and Bugs, because Yeesh is really good at walking bugs, and Gallery affords a lot of good opportunities.
Well, opens up with a flirt at the front conversation. Close green for 51%. Basically the most orthodox opening you can have in Spy Party.
Yeah, if I just asked you, hey, I'm not going to show you anything about the game, I'm not going to tell you who's playing, what do you think the first thing they did is? And you just said, I don't know, flirt? You're usually right.
Cast a fictional Spy Party game. Opens the game in conversation next to the selection target. Hits a green flirt for 51%.
We have a low light, by the way.
Yeah, we do. I don't really believe it yet. I'm gonna give it a moment, but it looks like it's sticking.
Well, Yeesh was trying to get a bug. He was doing everything he could to slow down to get the ambassador by his side, and for whatever reason, Wodar must have credited that as AI-like movement.
All right, well, only Wodar would low light for a bug.
Well, I guess he's just thinking that looks like a really strange path, and that's reason enough. But honestly, it just really goes to show how much of these like pathing lowlights are occasionally witchcraft.
I am surprised that Yeesh didn't take that bug attempt.
Because he doesn't think he's low lit. He doesn't think he's low lit.
But even then, it would be the backside arm. Mm-hmm. That's not an easy bug to catch.
No, and he does like bugs.
Second fingerprint at green bookcase here.
So Yeesh likes bugs. but he likes bugs he has more control over, all else being equal. He likes bugs he can plan out, walking bugs, drive-by bugs, those sort of ones like that, where the ambut comes to you sort of on gallery. They're just not as much his speed, generally speaking. But he does bug a lot, absolutely. He's bugged, for example, in SCL history, he's bugged in almost 42% of his games.
Well, stepping in to the second set of stats used to finish up these inspections. Now that's 2 missions complete, under a minute. Half a flirt done. In position to get the other half if he can hit the screen test.
And now that he's got that fingerprint, I don't think it's going to be the bug after all.
There's the reverse
Unless...
drive-by bug. This one doesn't hit the green test on the flirt, though. It's 85%.
And so you're not going to need that contact now. Yeah, I was going to say, unless, of course, the ambassador does us a little favor, and they do. That is a little more Yeesh's speed, and now he's just going to shamelessly run away and come right back and dare Wodar to shoot him, and we know it's not going to happen.
It's not going to happen at all. Stepping back in, even the worst flirt in the game would be enough at this point. And with 15 seconds left on the clock,
Not the worst flirt, though.
Press the button.
Whoops.
That is not the correct button. 5 seconds.
Doesn't matter. Wins anyway.
I think it still wins. This is not the correct shot. It looked like Boots was dancing for a second there. The shot comes off, but it's not the correct one. And even though everything went wrong at the end of the game, it wasn't enough because we were low lit. And Yeesh is now up 3-0.
Now, the funny thing is, I actually don't know if he loses even if he doesn't get low lit, because he played such a clean game afterwards because he didn't think he was low lit. So the low light might not have even cost him the game. He played such a good, clean game. So I don't know if that matters or not, but he's up 3-0 now. And you got to say, at minimum, it should be 2-1 right now.
Yeah, you'd think so. Wodar absolutely had his first sniper game in hand and let it fall away from him, but he's got one more chance.
All right, so how much are you putting on second appearance of Smallman here?
I'll say no, I don't think so.
I'll say 50-50.
Out of 21 characters, 50-50.
Yeah.
All right.
It's not, it's Seek.
Okay. That's considerably taller. I think maybe the tallest character, is that right? I think so. It's pretty close.
Why is he not tall man?
Smallman and Tallman.
I don't know. It looks like General is about the same.
Yeah, pretty close.
I think the tip of General's hat's a little bit higher, maybe.
Hey, Aklitos, you want to start a sitcom with me? Smallman and Tallman? You want to do this?
Purloin! It's a white test!
Even though I think you're just only a little bit
low
taller
lights
than me.
galore!
Yeah, he's in big trouble. Whoa, was that a misclick? Did you low light Wodar? Okay, my best guess, other than a misclick, is that he really thinks it was a green fade, so he's convinced the taker couldn't have taken it.
What is happening in this? Okay, we got everything's better. We fixed it. We're fine.
Didn't realize.
It was just a misclick.
And Yeesh, again, because it happened early, has a great mission count, just like Shep did, I think. Or Turnip Boy, rather. So I think even though Wodar could be done with quite a bit here, he's not going to shoot until you get at least that second visit. And he probably knows the flirt isn't done, too, for that matter, but he might still shoot there just in case.
Man, this has been rough for Wodar. That's a nice little maneuver, but I don't think he stopped for long enough.
No, he didn't do it quite right.
Yeesh is not happy.
And he left pads too early in the beginning of the game, too. Like, there's a lot of little stuff that Yeesh will often catch, and he will absolutely catch it if he's already on to you, so there's just no way Wodar's going to win this game, I think.
Yeah. Man, I feel bad for him. This is going to be 4-0.
Yeah, it's pretty tough.
Want to start a match. It is Yeesh's map pick, but unless Wodar can make some magic happen on balcony, it's going to be a rough set.
Yeah, and as we mentioned, Wodar had not lost yet, but had not played Yeesh yet, and that's an important distinction to make, because Yeesh right now is the class of gold.
85% on the flirt. I don't think Wodar can survive another visit to statues, and I'm pretty sure he's going to try.
Yeah, he is. And
what is that path?
It is not an efficient one, we'll say. It's a family circus path.
There's the flirt.
Yep.
Okay, we got the shot off. Had me worried for a moment, but we knew how on that Yeesh was. I am absolutely not surprised in the least to see that shot come off. It's 4-0.
Yeah, seek and ye shall find. Yeesh found him.
Seek and ye shall
But we are going off to Wodar's balcony.
Oh yeah. Well, so
This is
now this is clearly the right pick. It probably was anyway. You have to give your opponent respect. This is a venue rather that Wodar likes a lot, and as we say, it's swingy. And if you're down after gallery, which it turns out we are in a big way, that's what you want. Swingy is what you want. So this is where Wodar wants to be, score aside.
Absolutely. This is, if you need a comeback, this is the map for it. Especially if you're Wodar.
Especially if you're Wodar. But the thing is, Wodar does have a lot of little tells on balcony sometimes. So what it's really going to come down to is, has Yeesh studied his balcony game? And if he has, I think there's a lot to exploit there still.
I think so. Wodar's biggest flaw on his spy side is his patience. Or lack thereof.
Yeah, and no, it's fair to say though, like patient snipers are very impressive in general, but that also means you can mission win off them. Like there is a trade-off. But all in all, I think you'll agree with this. Generally speaking, the thing that keeps people from being great snipers is a lack of patience rather than too much. So I like to classify too much patience as a good problem to have.
Absolutely. This is a perfect contact.
And the end of red.
Yeesh takes it.
And it frames
Green
Alice
test.
perfectly. Yeah.
Wodar, I think because we just greened the contact, we won against Wodar.
I mean, we joke about it that Wodar will shoot for the talker during BB.
Well, and we are right to joke about it.
And that's why we joke about it. I mean, I think it was literally just her. It would have been her second flirt, right? So he was assuming a white BB and 2 green flirts, and that was it.
I don't know, but you can't write it better than that.
No. That'll be our next sitcom, by the way. We're gonna do Smallman and Tallman, Kletos, and then we're gonna write the Wodar Chronicles. And for episode 1 is Balcony.
It's 5-0 as Wodar steps into the spy side of balcony. Across the conversation from his seduction target is able to glean 28% off the flirt, but it's not where you want to be.
No, and he picked up the highlight, but here's the funny thing. He's standing across from a seduction target, so he's been paired, theoretically, for flirting with boots. So he's going to be behaving, probably, the rest of the game in a way that doesn't make sense given that flirt pairing, and it's possible that could work for him.
Could be. Especially if he hits a green test on one of these next two and it's relatively close, we're right back in there. And now we're relatively close with the seduction target.
And the end of red.
But we just did the contact.
Oh my god.
Wodar is falling apart. You thought 5 match points was a lot. Wodar has got that one-upped.
Yeah, and it didn't start this way. Again, I felt like that first game was really winnable, and you gotta wonder if maybe that ripples outward. That frustrating loss in the beginning, the one you had in the palm of your hand that dropped, like you said, and now, suddenly, you're down 6-0.
Wodar does seem like a man who is prone to emotion in these sorts of situations. Yeesh is in conversation relatively close to his seduction target, but not terribly close.
Yeah, emotion and momentum. When Wodar's playing well, he can really snowball on you and sneak up on you. And sometimes when he plays bad, sometimes it's just not his day. You really never know what kind of Wodar you're going to get in a given day, and I don't think he knows sometimes either. And that's one of the reasons he's so unpredictable, both for good and for ill.
Yeesh was not able to get the flirt at the start of the match.
I don't think it's going to matter. He's really thinking, you know what, I'm up 6-0, and Wodar is not holding the shot right now. This is balcony. So why don't I just throw this game away? If it comes to me, fine. If it doesn't, just dare him not to shoot. And if he doesn't, I got plenty of other opportunities. But it's maybe 50-50 that he's going to shoot anyway. So you'll take a bunch of coin flips in a row to win this match right now. If you want to make a statement and shut him out or something, that's great. But technically speaking, a 7-5, to my chagrin, is worth exactly as much as a 7-0. So just get the win any way you can.
This is very true. Just waiting for everybody to pile in the conversation. Might have to take a suboptimal contact here, as starts
if-
ticking down, but
but if
now
hair-
people are starting to fill up.
Yeah, but if it frames hair potentially, that might be enough.
He might just take it now.
I mean, the red.
Indeed,
Not
he
a good
does.
one.
2 steps away.
2 hard low lights and Alice taking a drink during. That is not great. 1 person left and 1 turn to take a drink while he did it. And now the party's down to 3, but Yeesh is the only one not highlight too.
I don't think Wadar's going to take this shot. The bug comes off at the window.
That was a really good bug.
Me? Yeesh with
That's
the
gonna do
big plays to shut out Wodar.
That was a really hard bug to see.
That was ridiculous. I think you got to catch it still, but I will definitely say that is a much more understandable bug to miss than most, and it caps off a ridiculous set. Yeesh was already technically at the top of gold. Wodar had a game in hand. This was that game, and Yeesh has looked absolutely dominant in the first half of this season. I don't think any of his matches have even been close yet.
Man, oh man, that is one heck of a stamp to put on the match.
Yeah, that's the exclamation point, is what that is. That is the exclamation point at the end of that sentence.
All right. Well, that's 2 sets gone.
Okay, so we have our answer now. Lazy Bear Nopi writes, which is the final match of the night.